All right, so Rick, tell me about fake ice cubes. You've told me so many stories about fake ice cubes. The first time I heard those, I thought, what? So,
Well, most people think, why would you use fake ice cubes?
why would you use fake ice cubes?
I'm glad you asked. There are so many reasons to use fake ice cubes, and there's so many types of fake ice cubes. So,
It's like a master class of fake ice cubes.
well, you know what? I used to have a box about, I don't know, 18 inches long by a foot wide that was full of different fake ice cubes.
Wow.
There's silicone ice cubes, there's acrylic ice cubes, there's glass ice cubes, there's different reasons to have different ones. There's floating ice cubes and non-floating ice cubes.
Wow. All right, so let's preface this with Rick worked on commercials in Hollywood as an art director and a prop master. So that's why you had all these types of fake
Right.
ice cubes.
So it's easier for me to tell the story. So let's say you're doing Pepsi, which I did a bunch of. Let's say you're doing Pepsi, and you got the beautiful glass there, and it's the product shot, the hero shot, that shot at the end of the commercial that looks absolutely delicious. Like you don't even like Pepsi, but you want one. Those shots, right? So inside that glass, which looks perfect, are fake ice cubes. If you put real ice cubes in there under the lights, by the time that everybody finishes futzing around, it's melted, it's diluted. So now you got to change it back out. So you got to use different ice cubes. And real ice sometimes has air in it, which causes it to turn white. Crystal clear ice cubes are made with like distilled water that have no air in them. So if you ever want clear ice cubes, put distilled water in an ice tray, put it in your freezer, and amaze everybody how your ice cubes are perfect. In LA, you can go to the ice shop and you can get
Of course you can.
you can get that, and you can get big chunks of it. I mean, huge chunks of it. So anyway, so you want to have that glass look perfect. So you arrange the ice cubes. You have different shapes of ice cubes. You take your tweezers and you make the ice cubes front facing the camera look absolutely perfect.
The ice cubes have to be saying, I'm ready for my close-up.
Yeah, I mean, we don't sing to the ice cubes, but it's almost like that. But there's different kinds of ice cubes and the different reasons to have them. And if you're outside, if you're inside, the light reflecting in them, acrylic ice cubes reflect great, glass ones reflect better, silicone ones don't reflect anything at all, but they're good for crushed ice. That crushed ice look in the top of a Pepsi cup is all silicone. It's not real ice. It's fake ice. It's silicone cubes that are about this big, that they put them up and they just basically take a device and then they like scrumble them up.
Scrumble them.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Scrambled ice cubes. So that's just one part of like the fake ice cubes, and the spritzing on the outside of it was going to be a different video because that's a whole different art form.
Wow.
Of how much glycerin, how much spray, what you use to use Evian or not to use Evian. There's all these reasons of how to get that perfect mist on the outside that the ice cubes create.
Wow.
So the other reason to use fake ice cubes is the glass will stay perfectly clean until you want it to have that look on it. So what you're doing is you're controlling everything in the glass and everything on the outside of the glass to get that perfect shot.
Right. So these are the secrets for food photography and food styling.
Right. So you can get fake ice cubes in a lot of different places, but like these days, if you're in LA or New York, they're easy to find because they're in the prop houses and the special effects houses and those kind of places. But if you're in Kansas, you may need to mail order from one of those places or B&H Photo or something. They all have ice cubes. And it's not just video. Still photographers use these too. When you work on the set with a still photographer that's doing the product shots for these same types of products, they got the whole thing also.
Yeah.
So fake ice cubes. Another thing, I was in Sedona one time on a Miller beer commercial, and we had the cooler sitting in the water. So the cooler had to stay in place, so we had sandbags in the cooler to hold the cooler in the water. And the guy has to reach into the cooler and grab the perfect beer. Well, you got to have the ice cubes on top of it. Well, Sedona was like 110 degrees that day, so the ice it's not going to last.
Right.
So we had these chunks of acrylic that was the base, and then we made our own denatured. I mean, not
Okay.
denatured.
No.
What is it? Water, distilled water, not denatured. Denatured alcohol is another big thing used in
Yes.
film a lot. So we used our own distilled water. We made our own ice cubes in the hotel that night to be the top one. So when they pull out, because we weren't going to do a product shot, and then the director decided we were. So we had to improvise and come up with a way. But I happen to have these big acrylic things that I use for shooting foreground through that worked perfect as the underlayer. So when you looked into it, all you saw was beautiful acrylic glass-like fake ice.
Now, is this the beer tub thing that you had the bottom cut out?
No, that was for a different thing.
Okay.
But I still had these acrylic things, and when we moved down here, I was going to get rid of them, but they're still in storage because they're freaking awesome to shoot through, and I've used them. And actually, the new glasses we just got, I'm going to use those this week on a shoot to shoot something through for an idea I have. So, fake ice cubes. Back to the topic at hand. Fake ice cubes are necessary if you're doing food stuff. They make you look good. If you're a travel photographer, if you're a blogger, if you're an influencer, these are the kind of things that you just carry a little baggie of these things, and you order one drink from the bar, and now you can shoot all day long instead of keep having to buy drinks or make friends with the bartender or get ice or having the product look distilled and not right. So that's the reason why you want to do it, because you have full control over it.
Top secrets.
There you go.
All
So,
right.
fake ice cubes.
Perfect.